We have the Microsoft CEO talking Xbox versus PlayStation 5. Xbox Series X Scalpers get screwed. PS2 games are running on the Xbox Series S, and Microsoft makes another gaming acquisition. A lot of things to talk about in today's video, so let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? It's Randall Thor 19, the man with a million, back again with another video. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and if you guys can do me a huge favor, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and please hit that notification bell. It helps out the channel a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the continued support. Well, you guys demanded more videos, and I promised I would deliver on that. So a new video today talking about 4 different things very similar in structure to my previous video. So what are the topics for today's video? Well, we have Microsoft acquiring another gaming company. Will it be for Xbox or something else? We're going to be talking about that later. PlayStation 2 games are actually playable on the Xbox Series X and S for the first time outside of the PlayStation console. Not even the PS5 can do this right now. The scalper group that made headlines by securing over 3,500 PlayStation 5 systems and over 1,000 Series X consoles just got screwed by a retailer, and you love to see it. But our first topic, and the most important, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella was asked directly in a shareholder meeting today what Xbox is doing to set it apart from the PlayStation 5 to win the console war, and what their gaming strategy is going forward. And honestly, his answer is exactly what you would expect if you've been following this channel for some time. So a shareholder asks, what is being done to set Xbox apart from the PlayStation 5 to win the console war, and can you provide an overview of our gaming strategy? And Satya replies, sure. First thing, we're very excited about the new console launches in the market. We always have sort of focused on ensuring that our gamer community that counts on us to produce the best consoles has a new generation of consoles, which are powerful and really great for gameplay, and we are supporting it with the best content with the best community. But the broader vision we have is to ensure that the 3 billion gamers out there are able to play their games anywhere they want, with all the content they want, and with whom they want to. And that's really what we are building our strategy around. You've seen us double our content portfolio with ZeniMax acquisition. You see us making advances in our community efforts and our subscription offers with Game Pass. And that's what you can expect from us. We are absolutely very, very much focused on gaming and ensuring that all the 3 billion gamers around the world get the best content, best community, and the best cloud services to power their gaming experiences going forward. Now, I hope people realize when Satya Nadella says that Microsoft is very, very much focused on gaming, he's not just paying lip service. I know a lot of people always were under the assumption that Xbox really didn't mean a lot to Microsoft. But with Phil Spencer on the executive board answering directly to Satya, and with Satya approving the ZeniMax acquisition for $7.5 billion, that should essentially silence all the doubters that Xbox isn't important to Microsoft as a company. And in this answer, you can see Xbox's strategy and what is important to Satya. It's about reaching 3 billion gamers, and they do that through the cloud, which Microsoft really has a competitive advantage there with Azure, and that's something that sets it apart from their rival PlayStation. Remember, he was asked directly what Xbox is doing to set itself apart from PlayStation, and his answer was, hey, we got these consoles, the Series S and S, and they're really great, really powerful. But really, when you look at his answer, he talks about 3 billion gamers, he talks about cloud gaming, which is something they have and Sony really doesn't. He mentions Game Pass and subscription services. We know Game Pass has 15 million subscribers, and Sony barely ever talks about PlayStation Now, although I do feel PlayStation is going to kind of have their own version of Game Pass. Jim Ryan has talked about that. So it's all about Xbox trying to get the early lead before eventually PlayStation copies what they're doing. And because you need content to drive subscription growth and cloud gaming, they allowed obviously ZeniMax to be purchased, 23 first-party studios, all with games coming down the pipeline. And if you've forgotten, Satya Nadella did say after the ZeniMax acquisition that they will always look to grow inorganically where it makes sense. Phil Spencer has talked at length about looking for more content creators for Xbox Game Game Pass. So I've always said that once the ZeniMax deal goes through, Microsoft will probably make another purchase, maybe a couple more studios, because they're going to need to feed the beast, Xbox Game Pass. You got to realize, in Satya's eyes, Xbox and gaming is all about the ecosystem. You can play the games on the two consoles out now, the Series X and the Series S. Everything's also going to be on PC, and then you'll be able to access your games on Android and iOS. All this is held together by Xbox Game Pass. That is Satya and Phil's vision, and that's how they're going to reach the 3 billion gamers that Satya talks about. Essentially, the last sentence says it all. Satya wants the 3 billion gamers around the world to get the best content, have the best community, and the best cloud services to power their gaming experiences going forward, and nobody should doubt that. Now, our next story is a fun one, and it deals a little bit about karma. I think a lot of you have probably heard of that notorious reseller group that has been using bots to buy PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X consoles, only to then resell them on eBay or online for a ridiculous amount of markup to people, right? The Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, $500, but you can go on eBay and other websites and essentially have to pay anywhere between like $800 and $1,500 to buy a system. Obviously, these people are using bots and different means to be able to buy the systems on the retailer websites before regular people, and it has made everybody pissed off because people want to have these next generation consoles. They want to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Miles Morales, and they don't want to pay more than double of the asking price. Now, I know I am very fortunate that I have both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X with how limited these consoles are, but I gotta say this story brought a smile to my face because I like seeing these scalpers get what's coming to them. So the article starts off that the reseller group claimed on Sunday that it had managed to order over 1,000 Xbox Series S consoles, understood by VGC to have come from retailer Very. UK-based Crep Cheap Notify, which has thousands of paid members, is set to utilize a bot software to circumvent online retail queues and automatically purchase sought-after products as they come in stock. The group recently rose to prominence after it boasted that its members had obtained some 3,500 PS5 consoles to resell for profit, and on Sunday it said it had secured over 1,000 Xbox Series X consoles. However, retailer Very has since told Sky News that Xbox Series X and PS5 consoles purchased through its websites on Sunday were only able to be ordered due to a technical error. Those orders, which were placed by legitimate customers as well as scalpers, will now be canceled and refunds issued within 10 days. Quote, as a result of a technical error, some people were able to place orders for PS5 and Xbox Series X consoles for a short time on Sunday, the online retailer said. Now, my first reaction when reading this article was good. I'm glad all those orders were canceled and that group can't hold hostage another 1,000 Xbox Series X consoles. I want those consoles to go to the people that really want them. And I know some people will say, what does it matter? It's a free market. If those people are able to get the systems and resell it, then it's no big deal. And I don't really have an issue with somebody buying an extra console and reselling it for a couple $100 more. But I really do have a problem with a group of people out there using bots, giving them an unfair advantage in buying those consoles before regular customers. And I've heard the arguments that PlayStation and Xbox don't care who buys these consoles, they get the money in the end. But I don't necessarily agree with that, because both the PlayStation 5 and the Series X and S are being sold at a launch. What Microsoft wants is a customer to buy the console and then buy a whole bunch of games, subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, subscribe to the PlayStation Collection. And with these consoles being held hostage and just sitting in a warehouse or in a room, clearly games aren't being bought and people aren't subscribing to any subscription service. So Sony and Microsoft can't be happy about this. They want those systems to go to actual customers. I gotta say, retailers, Xbox and PlayStation have to come up with a better way to sell these consoles. So in 7 years' time, when the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox Series XXX comes out, there has to be a better way to pre-order these consoles so the situation doesn't happen again. Now, our next story is pretty damn cool, and it comes from one of my friends on YouTube, MVG, or Modern Vintage Gamer. I'll have his channel linked below, but it's how Xbox Series X and S are basically able to emulate PlayStation 2 games, and that's something the PlayStation 5 can't even do right now. The article says that the Xbox Series X and S owners have been able to get PlayStation 2 games running on Microsoft's new console using developer mode. The mode, which can be accessed for a $20 fee, lets users install development builds of software that utilize Universal Windows Platform. This includes emulators such as RetroArch, as shown via YouTube channel Modern Vintage Gamer, enabling users to play Dreamcast, GameCube, Wii, PS3, and PS2 games on Microsoft's console. PS2 games currently run using preview builds of RetroArch that have the PS2 emulator PCSX2 implemented. It shows a number of high-profile PS2 games running on the Xbox Series S, including God of War, Metal Gear Solid 2, Jak and Daxter, Eco, Time Splitters 2, Shadow of the Colossus, Silent Hill 2, and Gran Turismo 4. Quote, if you think about it, outside of PlayStation, this is the first time that PS2 games are running on a console system, said Modern Vintage Gamer. Now, I'm going to recommend everybody check out MVG's video about this. I watched it the other day and it's really good. He basically shows you how it's all done. You download RetroArch, you pay the $20 fee, you set your Series X and S to dev mode, and you can play these games. Although it's a little bit more complicated than that, but it's pretty cool, damn cool if you ask me, to see the Series S and X actually emulate PlayStation 2 games like God of War, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Shadow of the Colossus. So check out his channel for more information. Now, the only real question I have is the legality surrounding this. I'm sure PlayStation and Nintendo can't be very pleased that essentially Wii games, GameCube games, PS1, PS2, and PS3 games are available to play via emulation on the Xbox Series X and S. I wonder how this will all play out. Will Sony send a cease and desist to Microsoft and force them to remove the emulation software? Will Nintendo do the same? And then eventually the only people able to play these emulated games are the ones who bought RetroArch? I'm really curious how this is all going to play out. Now, our last story is that online video game platform Smash.gg has announced that it has entered an acquisition agreement with Microsoft. The company, rooted in tools to host and support esports events, reportedly looks to join Redmond for an undisclosed sum, further bolstering its gaming presence alongside the Xbox brand. Smash.gg announced the deal via its official website. We've reached out to Microsoft for confirmation, although it did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Headquartered in San Francisco, Smash.gg first started operations in 2015 as a platform for esports events around Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. Fighting series. Its services have since expanded to other titles, although its name and presence remain closely tied to the fighting genre. Its suite of tools offers support to grassroots and professional organizers, handling management, payments, and analytics through an all-inclusive platform. It may seem like an unexpected acquisition for Microsoft, with Smash.gg best known among Super Smash Bros. Communities, even down to its brand identity. But with steady expansion over half a decade, the acquisition signals further diversification with its surfaces, stressing availability across, quote, all gaming communities. And Microsoft has the portfolio to bring Smash.gg to new audiences, whether the Xbox platform, its MSN esports franchise, or even back-end developer tools like PlayFab. Now, I know a lot of people out there assume that Microsoft bought Smash.gg to do esports with Xbox, but I think this has to do more. But I think this acquisition has more to do with MSN than it has to do with Xbox. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you think about everything in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell if you always want to be notified whenever I drop a new video like this. Please share this video on social media or tell a friend about the channel. If you want to support the channel even further, you can hit the join button, where you will get access to channel badges and emotes for the Xbox 2 podcast we do every single Friday with Jez Corden from Windows Central. Thank you guys so much for watching, each and every one of you that takes the time out of your day to do so. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.